I'm joined by Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary. Sir, thank you for speaking to us on the most burning topic, quite literally, that the Indian defence establishment is facing. The Agnipath scheme, which, if we can say, has become an Agni Pariksha. So we have a time constraint, so I'll come straight to the point. Did the security and defence establishment expect this kind of a backlash with the announcement of the scheme?
No, definitely we did not expect this kind of a backlash. We did expect that there would have been some doubts in the minds of the youth, which could have been clarified if they had approached the nearest military station or read the news carefully. They would have found out the fine lines which they were probably missing.
Sir, of course, this is one of the most radical changes as far as recruitment of the other ranks level is concerned. Definitely a lot of brainstorming must have gone into it. A lot of planning has gone into it. What exactly are the benefits of this scheme in the long term, and how will we see a reformed military, a lean and mean military that we are looking at through this scheme? Can you elaborate on that?
Okay, first of all, for the armed forces, and I will speak for the Air Force in particular, we are well aware of the new domains of warfare that we are going to be faced with in future. For this, we definitely require a completely new breed of air warriors. And I think this Agnipath scheme will give us Agniveers who will fulfill our aspirations for this. The force optimization, both qualitative and quantitative, is also taking place at the same time. And once again, this scheme will give us an opportunity to redefine our HR policies, to redefine our training policies and our training schemes, so as to achieve a new goal, a new height in the coming future.
Sir, there is no change in the eligibility criteria. So when you say that this will help you handpick air warriors for modern day warfare, what exactly do you have in mind when it comes to selection?
See, traditionally, though the educational qualifications remain the same, traditionally everybody went through the same training pattern, basic military training followed by the trade phase training and so on. We did not have much of a leeway to put them in a stream that probably they may excel in. So this is one area where we think we can iron out these problems that we've been facing for the years. We observe that individual for 2 or 3 years. We can gauge his caliber, we can see what kind his aptitude, we can see what kind of a job he's going to be best suited for, and thereafter, when he re-enrolls after 4 years, we can take on the specialized training for him.
So you are saying, sir, the 4 years time period that a youngster spends time in the armed forces will give the armed forces an opportunity to focus on key areas and then handpick these people for specialized jobs?
Exactly. That is one of the steps we aim to do, that we will have a very robust selection process, which will not only be based on his military attributes, but also on his technical aptitudes.
So at the beginning of the interview, you said that, people did not understand what the contours of this are. Do you think from the government side or from the armed forces side, the communication on this scheme could have been a little better? In hindsight, do you feel you could have reached out and engaged with these youth in a better manner?
This scheme has been in the making for the last 2 years. General idea was already in the environment as to what this scheme will entail, though the final nitty-gritties were ironed out and it was announced 3 days ago. It is likely that people were not fully aware of the nitty-gritties, but in general, I think the public were well aware that a scheme of this sort is on the anvil.
So what message do you have for the youth who are still facing a lot of anxiety? Last 2 years, because of COVID, recruitments could not happen. So there is a big group of youngsters that's feeling that cheated in a way, that they've been left out. What's the message that the armed forces have for all these youth?
Firstly, realizing that a large number of youth could have probably missed an opportunity to join the services due to the COVID. The government yesterday has announced a 2-year extension for the upper age limit. it is a welcome step, and I'm sure more people will get an opportunity to join the service now with this.
So after 4 years, what do these youth do? I mean, that's another big question that is being asked.
Primarily, they will have about, I would say, 3 options. Number one, first and foremost, is to continue pursuing higher education. You are aware that the national education policy now allows certain credit points to be earned in this 4 years while they are serving as Agniveers. Added to this will be the fairly handsome Seva Nidhi package that they're going to be taking home with. So these two combined, I'm sure a lot of them will be able to pursue good education in a good university in future. Apart from this, the Seva Nidhi package will give an opportunity to set up a small venture, to become entrepreneurs. Or the last option, of course, is to continue in government service. A lot of state governments have already announced reservations or prioritization for Agniveers in state police forces and such like. The Home Minister also made this announcement that 10% reservation will be given to Agniveers in the CAPFs. So the options are plenty for them.
सर, अग्निपथ स्कीम के क्या फायदे हैं, अगर आप इस पे विस्तार में हमें थोड़ी सी जानकारी दें।
पहले तो वायुसेना और सशस्त्र सेना बलों के लिए ये फायदेमंद होगा कि एज प्रोफाइल जो है सैनिकों की ये घटेगी। आज एवरेज एज प्रोफाइल सर्विसेज में 30 साल की उम्र है, ये घट के धीरे धीरे 25 से 26 साल तक आएगी। ये सबसे बड़ा फायदा है। दूसरा फायदा है जो अग्निवीर भर्ती होके आएंगे उन लोगों को एक तो देश की सेवा करने का अवसर मिलेगा, वर्दी पहनने का अवसर मिलेगा।